Well, hey guys, if I haven't met you, my name is Zachary Ray, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of my story. So, I grew up in a non-Christian house. My dad was a Buddhist, mom was agnostic. I got radically saved at age 19 when God revealed himself in a powerful way at that coffee shop right over there. My friend and I were so touched by God that we began screaming and shouting as the joy of the Lord filled my car while driving away. I then did the Rock internship where God transformed my life. It's in the internship that I met my lovely, beautiful wife, Stephanie. Over there. It's true. You guys can go grab her later or something. All right. So about 6 months after the internship, the Lord led me to go on a 3-week mission trip to Hong Kong. While I was in Hong Kong, I was riding a ferry across the harbor when the Lord began to speak to me. He said, "Zach, how do you feel about moving to Hong Kong?" I quickly said no. But the Lord was relentless. And after arguing with him for 2 hours, I said, "Okay, maybe, Lord, if you wanted me to." He quickly added, "I do. I want you to marry Stephanie and move to Hong Kong." I know. It's crazy. I'm with you guys. Okay, when I got back to America, I asked Stephanie to marry me right before last year's youth winter camp. 2 days later, in worship at the winter camp, the Lord again spoke to me, saying, "Zach, I want you to quit your job and set aside 2 months to seek me." I again urged the Lord to reconsider. "Lord, I literally just asked Stephanie to marry me, have no money, and you want me to quit my job?" The Lord said, "When you get your next job, it won't be in the construction industry, and you'll be making more money than you do now." Over the next few months, the Lord began to do many miracles. Someone offered to pay for the first 2 months of my rent of $1,000. Then the Lord told me to plan for a big wedding. I had no income. He told me to invite as many people as we wanted. So we invited 500 people to our wedding. God supernaturally provided every step of the way. The Lord even told my wife to have a potluck for the wedding food. We asked about 30 people to bring food and was able to feed over 350 people and had leftovers to spare. We got married, both with no job, full of faith and peace. I know. Then someone bought us plane tickets to Hawaii for our honeymoon. I know. After the second week of being in Hawaii, I got woken up by a phone call from Birmingham, Alabama at 6 a.m. I answered, and they said, "Hi, this is E.A. Renfro, and we wanted to let you know that you got the job." Now, I had previously applied for a job online. This, too, was a crazy miracle when we randomly met a 70-year-old couple who just moved here from Florida, ended up dog sitting for them, and invited them to our wedding spontaneously. They're the ones who referred me to this job. I told the guy on the phone that I would accept the job. He said, "Okay, the only thing is, it's in a town called Roseville. Have you ever heard of it?" They're from Alabama. I said, "Yeah." He said, "Okay. The only thing is you have to be able to start on the 17th. I checked my phone. Our plane got home on the 16th. I went home. Oh, there's a whole other thing here. And then he said, "Okay, the starting rate is $417 a day. Does that work for you?" As if it was negotiable. I said, "Yeah, that works." I went home, slept all day due to jet lag, and the next day I was at State Farm Insurance, working 66 hours a week, making $2,500 a week. Then God came and met me in the office. He began to personally teach me how to do my job. Within 3 months, I got promoted and was the youngest bodily injury claims adjuster on the team. God told me, "Zach, there are 2 ways to do this job. Your way, which involves stress, anxiety, and control, or my way." At this point, I decided to go his way. God taught me how to do the job, you guys, literally step by step. And after just 2 weeks in my new position, I was 3 weeks ahead of everyone else in the entire office. My managers, astounded, came up to me separately, one by one, and asked me, "How are you learning so fast? And how are you doing this?" I said, it must be prayer. And they said, it must be. They're intense. They're from Atlanta. And but they were like, it must be. And these are my managers, you know. So crazy. Just like in the book of Daniel, after fasting the king's food, God had promoted me. Then God came with power to my office. My good friend Brian Burkett worked with me, and we were able to pray for our boss. She got supernaturally healed, and her leg even grew out. The boss's son got led to the Lord, and 2 days later, I got to lead a random 45-year-old mom to the Lord, right outside the State Farm parking lot, in the pouring rain. It's crazy. The next week, a young man got delivered of a fully manifested demon, and so on and so forth. God had come and invaded our lives at work. And the funny thing with this job is now that I have experience, I have a guaranteed job pretty much whenever I want. I've even been recently offered positions in Atlanta and Colorado, and last week, New York. However, God has told my wife and I that we are to move to Hong Kong, to be missionaries, to learn the language, and to preach the gospel to the people of China. We will be moving March 25th, and will be full-time missionaries while we are in Hong Kong. Our hearts will be set on learning the language, connecting with the people, and serving wherever God leads us. For more information on details of what we'll be doing, come see us after service for a letter from us. We'll have an info thing in the lobby. Thanks, guys.